It is a real joy to share this annual report with the congregation. And when I think about our work here as a church, I think about two sides of it. One side has to do with the institutional health of the organization. That's the project that we work on, trying to move the church forward in a vital way. But then there's this other piece. It is the ministry piece of our church. That is, how are we caring and making a difference in the lives of individual people? We're loving our church, we're renewing our church one person at a time.
It's a very joyful place, and that it's very community oriented, and that follows with me throughout the week.
The pastor gives me great inspiration to survive 1 week and come back another week.
It's almost a celebration every Sunday that I'm here with my church family. Whatever, 22 years, however long I've been here, it's been a long time.
I'm inspired by the people of the church, not only the religious leadership and the ushers and the staff members, but just the people that attend every day. That is what a church is.
When I think about our project, I think back to a couple of years ago when we received the first distribution from the Seaver Trust. As we reported to the congregation, that put in motion a sustainability project so that by a certain time we would be able to be at a break-even place financially with our congregation. We want as much congregational vitality as we can find, but we also want to be able to do that in a financially sustainable way. We are now 2 years into that project, and I'm really happy to report that that is going well. We've made great strides. In fact, we are moving ahead of schedule. It's not been easy. We've had some challenges. We've had to make some decisions programmatically. Perhaps the most difficult one was when we decided we were not going to do our Thursday noonday organ concerts. And yet we've continued emphasizing great organ music in the life of this church.
We do have a lot of beautiful music services.
There's so much joy and so much celebration and so much wonderful just love floating around, and the music and just everything. It's really helped me to pull through some tough times, so I don't feel alone when I'm here at First Church.
This place is the place to be, and everybody's so happy, and we have so many, good people here, and I'm so glad, I'm a part of this.
And then, of course, last summer we made the decision and we completed the sale of Cedar Lake Camp. I know that was a hard decision-making process for the church. And yet, two things have happened since we made that decision. One, we've stopped the losses happening at Cedar Lake from a financial perspective. On the other hand, we've been able to take those funds, nearly $4 million, invest them in a robust market, and that continues to produce income for the church. Step by step by step, we are moving this project forward in a financially sustainable way, so that in a couple of years we're going to be able to report to this annual meeting that we are now at a break-even status with our budget, and I think people will feel very good about that because that says something about our future.
For somebody like myself who joined in 1994, I've seen the growth and then the diminishing and then the growth again. So couldn't be better under our current leadership. I love Scott.
It's so refreshing to find that we have a growing, mega, progressive church in Los Angeles that is really, truly inclusive.
The church grows and grows and is more and more inclusive. It's more and more of a community, which I love.
I am happy to report that giving is increasing in our church. This is very good. Now, half of all of our weekly giving to the church is done by way of our e-offering. People simply sign up through their checking account. We make that deduction each week or each month, and that provides a steady stream of income for the church, and it also allows members to give to their church in a regular and uninterrupted way. I want our church to feel good about the fact that we are good, we are strong, we are healthy, and we are making the kind of progress that is so important for us as a faith community. I look back programmatically at what we've done this last year. So many good things have happened. I think to last summer when we did our Summer 1 read with the book To Kill a Mockingbird. I did 4 sermons on this novel and related that to biblical and Christian ideas. And then we did a film forum, we did a book talk. Participation was as high as anything that we've done since I've been here. That's really exciting to see. And I think it's important because it says something about our church. It says we're not just a place where people go to church. We are a faith community. We are a learning community. We believe in asking questions, deepening our faith, deepening our life.
It's been a rough year, which is fine. That's part of the human experience. But I'm glad to have this little cane, this little tool to lean on to say yes to the things that I need to say yes to.
This could be a place where we, become a big part of our lives.
I really love the fact that we tie, messaging with art and other things.
The pastor is so welcoming. We really love his openness and diversity.
All the services have been special so far, and so I'm waiting for a non-special service.
The people are wonderful, and I love it here, and I don't want to leave.
And the music is stunning. The architecture is gorgeous.
There's so many things about the church because it all fits in harmony.
Our Seekers class that Reverend Ryan Stites teaches is doing so well. This is a group of people, they journey together every Sunday morning. They are a faith community, a learning community. I'm so pleased with that.
Unlike previous years, I started going through the Seekers class. They have been going for some time, and I started this time. And it is the most intellectually rigorous discussion of things that are critical and important to our understanding of who we are.
Our Sunday emphases continue to really draw visitors as well as inspiring our members. I think of everything from our blessing of the animals to our trilogue service to our Bach emphasis on Sunday morning that we had this last fall, and then of course our art of Christmas and the whole Advent and Christmas season and what that meant in the life of our church. Our attendance during the holidays this last year has been higher than I'm guessing any time in the last 30, 40 years at First Church. This is an exciting thing. It means that people are recognizing that there's something good that's happening here, and there's something that really makes a difference in their lives.
It was the first time here for Christmas Eve. We had kind of heard about it, but when everyone lit the candles and turned off the lights, it's pretty. And we were sitting up kind of in the balcony area, so you can kind of look down and see everything. It was pretty amazing.
All the candles are lit and sing Silent Night. It's just a real special time.
I'm willing to drop everything and stay up late and feel wonderful the next day. And it's always so beautiful, and everyone is so happy to participate. It just gets you ready for the up and coming year.
Christmas service has become my favorite because it is such a community event.
At that point, it's a lot of wonderful work and camaraderie with other people that are helping out. But when you enter the following Sunday and see that sanctuary with the simple green and white leading right down to the altar, it is absolutely a joy, and it brings everything together.
One that comes to mind immediately was the first Christmas Eve service with all the children, because it was such a special moment for them, and it was amazing to see how many people came just to watch the children experience Christmas that way. It was a really fun thing for our church to do.
One of my proudest moments working with the kids this year was their Christmas program. I heard so much positive feedback from the parents on how great the kids did and other members in the church, and they finally started to blossom and they sounded beautiful.
Of course, we had a retreat at Cedar Lake Camp this last fall. At the beginning of the year, I did 2 spiritual life retreats. At the end of those days, people feel so grateful, not just for the retreat, but for the church, that this is a place where life and faith and the spiritual journey really intersect.
I went to the 7 Ways of Prayer, and that was really wonderful. It kind of opened up my eyes to new ways of praying, and so that kind of stayed with me too.
What we find is that in some of these smaller group settings, people not only get in touch with something real in here, but it builds community. They begin to recognize that, oh, this person is on a journey and that person is on a journey. And so when we gather on a Sunday morning, we don't gather merely as a community of strangers. We actually know one another, and we know we're not alone as we're living our lives. That to me is the ministry of the church, and it's really so important.
You know, it's really exciting each week as I meet new people as to how they're finding us and where they're coming from. And really, our folks are coming from all parts of the city, from Riverside to places out in the valley to, the South Bay. And that's really exciting that we're attracting such a diverse group of people really from all over our city. We're really becoming a true reflection of the city of Los Angeles.
Every person who comes to our church, no one is a stat. No one is a number. This is why I'm really hesitant about, okay, our goal is 20 new members or 50 new members or 100 new members. In a certain way, this is the work of the Spirit. We open our doors. We try to be the best we can be. And if we bring new people into our community, that is success. But I also am happy to report that this last year we've had over 50 new members, and we've been on that trend for the last several years, and that's a positive thing. That is due to a congregation that's becoming more and more a welcoming church, a joyful church, and a church that really knows how to welcome the stranger. We don't do it perfectly yet, and we're still working on that. But if we can become a place where everybody who comes through our doors senses that there is a place for them at the table of God, if that can happen here every Sunday, then that is success from my perspective.
We hosted the annual convention for the Crystal Meth Anonymous conference, and that's like the second time that we have pulled it here. And I'm a part of that recovery community too. And I had the privilege of taking Scott down to address the conference at the closing. And it was really beautiful because Scott said just a few words to thank them for being here, and said something to them about the fact that we're all in the same business of putting people back together. And a lot of people were so touched by that, to have a minister come and address them and tell them thank you for being here. I had an enormous amount of feedback on that, and people were very, very touched, and so was I.
But years ago, Coffee Fellowship, we had maybe 10 people who would stay, and it lasted about 5 minutes. Now, our Coffee Fellowship will last an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And it's because people really are enjoying getting to know other people. Friendships are being made here. And I think people have a sense that this place is important.
Yeah, just little things touch me. Like this morning, the baptism, that brought tears to my eyes.
I just love how communion is done here, and I came thinking it was something you had to be worthy of, a solemn occasion, and you had to be in the right mindset and appropriately solemn about your faith. And this service completely changed that for me. It was all about welcoming and let's break bread together.
It's hard to pick anything that stands out because they all stand out. The music stands out, the sermons stand out. The congregation has become more of a loving community of itself.
2017, we'll be celebrating the 150th anniversary of this church. I'm so grateful for everything the church has done in the past, but truthfully, I'm really more excited about the future and what's up ahead. The thing that I'm aware of, and I feel this so deeply, the people who make this place hum with energy and aliveness. I think about staff people who bring their talent, who give of their time and energy. I think of lay people. I see them. They go above and beyond the call of duty. And they do it not because they're getting paid. They're not getting paid. They do it because they love their church and they love the people in this church. I think of the people who make an effort to be here on a Sunday. And I know for some of them it would be much easier for them not to be here. But they're here because it's relevant to them. They're here because it makes a difference in their lives. And I think they're here because they know they make a difference. And so churches only succeed when people are working together. And I feel like we're doing that. I love the joy here. I love the energy here. And I love the fact that we are becoming more and more the place in Los Angeles that offers a progressive, open, compassionate vision of the Christian faith. And people can count on one thing. If they walk through this door, they will be treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve because they are a child of God. And if we can keep doing that, I think the future is really bright for First Church.